when you begin to play catch with the baseball, one of the things that you want to try to avoid is be aware of where the children are gripping the baseball, as far as if they have a tendency to want to be on the smooth part of the ball, it's going to create a lot of slipping, and you're going to start to see the baseball kind of come out of their hands without any spin on it, and you're going to see like the ball will travel like this. You want to allow them to understand how to utilize those seams at the very young age, because the more they incorporate those seams, the better they'll be able to throw the baseball as far as accuracy and also distance. When we throw the baseball, much like when we do with the football, we want to make sure that that spin is that four-seam grip. Okay, we want accuracy, and so accuracy comes from our four-seam grip. So demonstrate that for me, Ant. Okay, so if I'm looking at that and that middle finger gets too far off to the side, all right, so we want to try to keep it at center, and we want to try to get that thumb underneath the baseball. We don't want that, see how the thumb is off to the side? We want to bring that underneath. What we're trying to promote is when that ball comes out of your hand, we want a true and accurate spin, a four-seam spin, and we want to know that we're throwing it right through our throwing partner. So what I want you to understand is, if your thumb gets off to the side like this, you're going to have a tendency to kind of come across the ball like this. When in reality, if you get your thumb here and you get your thumb to go right towards Anthony this way, okay, that's going to help you with throwing accuracy. Okay, so if your thumb is off to the side, you're going to want to kind of cut across the ball, like what we talked about with middle finger dominant. And so you want to make sure you have that target with Anthony, with your thumb, and get your thumb to go directly into his chest. Okay, great. Like your fingers are spread like this. A lot of that is because if you have a tendency to want to have as much of that baseball, control most of that baseball, but you're going to restrict the ball flight. And so what you want to do is you want to kind of have the space that's similar to the width of your finger, okay? And so you just want to kind of have this here, and what you want to do is feel your fingertips are the last thing off that ball and push through that, all right? So we're not pushing with our wrist like this. We're using our whole forearm, and we're just coming all the way out, and we want to finish with our fingers down. Yep. Another good drill that you guys can do when we're relatively close is you want to be able to just throw the ball back and forth and feel yourself get into that four-seam grip. Okay, so in other words, if I'm looking at my throwing partner, I'm not looking down, and I want to learn how to get into that four-seam grip before I throw, this is how to do it here, so that you're teaching yourself how to manipulate the ball. Because it's very important to try to use that four-seam grip as often as you can. It gives you a truer, more accurate throw, anytime, whether you're in the outfield or an infield or a catching position. So give that a try. Yep, and then up. Yep. So see how you're right here and you're looking at it? Okay, so what I want you to understand is we want to be up here with our eyes forward, and then be able to trust that we're going to get the ball, and then when we put it into our right hand, we want to lift it. While we're lifting it, we're finding that grip. Great. And so what you want to do is you want to really promote how fun and how simple this is, and how anytime that they pick up and throw the ball, they're going to grab the baseball. Sometimes you're going to see little ones grab the ball with 3 fingers. That's okay. What we want to try to make sure, if it's 3 fingers or 2 fingers, is that the ball, the middle finger is always in the center of the ball. The ball has an approximate 3-inch diameter, and we want to try to cut the ball in half as much as we can, because that gives us control and accuracy. Anytime that middle finger gets off to the side of the ball, it's going to start to promote kind of getting a cutting across the baseball, and that's where you can get sore arms and sore elbows. So try to, whether it's 3 fingers or 2 fingers, to have that middle finger over your thumb on the baseball. Always make sure the fingertips are over the seam of the baseball, okay? And that's going to allow for the spin for all four seams of the baseball to kind of gather the air and kind of create a true flight of the baseball.